What's up, guys? It's your man, Donovan Sharpe, and welcome to Weights and Dates with your boy, Myron Gaines. I, of course, am Donovan Sharpe. I'm here live in sunny Las Vegas, Nevada. I've been here for the last week or so, and I was actually talking about, and I actually didn't get to show you, well, we were talking about this off the air, and I told you I've been here all week, and for the first, Devin and I were out on the Strip. Then out on the Strip, we went on a helicopter tour of the Grand Canyon, which was absolutely, dude, I'm gonna tell you what, man, that was one of the coolest things I've ever done. We went to the Keck Observatory up at Mount Mauna Kea on the Big Island a few years back. That was awesome. This was just as awesome. Like, it was, dude, I got all sorts of, anyway, so we met up at we got picked up in a limo at the Venetian. We got brought back. Did a little bit of shopping around the Venetian, had some dinner. Got in the we called an Uber to take us back to our hotel, and we're right there on the Strip. And it was weird, Myron. All of a sudden, I started feeling sort of a sense of anxiety, right? Like I started to feel almost like anxious, and I didn't really. Oh, Jesus Christ! There we go. I didn't really know what it was, and please pay no attention to that sound because I am now dialing into the
Blog Talk.
What you call it? Yes, Blog Talk. Thank you. Had a brain freeze there. But
guys, so get ready. We'll do an open Q&A today, guys. So we're firing up the phone lines
absolutely.
Right now. So if you hear a little
man, and
talking crap, don't worry about it, guys.
Yeah, listen, we got you covered.
Or Australian, actually. The Blog Talk radio lady is, I think she's Australian, actually. But
you think she's Australian? I thought she was British. But yeah, it was the weirdest feeling. Like, I was like, why do I feel a sense of anxiety? Why do I not? Because I thought I'd get out on the Strip and be like, oh my God, I'm back. I'm with my pull back on my home turf. I'm back, dude. And I wasn't even out on the Strip. We were just in an Uber on the Strip, and I just remember thinking, dude, how in the hell did I do this for almost 10 years? I don't know how I did it, man. I guess I grew out of it, dude.
Yeah, man. It's Vegas is very similar to Miami, whereas, like, if you go to like Ocean Drive, right, in Miami Beach, it's like it's not the real world. You know what I mean? It's like a fantasy land kind of, the neon lights, the bars and clubs all over the place, and it's like, man, this is lit, but it's like, it's like a bizarro world, So like, that's why most people that are local to Miami, like that have lived here for long enough, they don't stay on the beach at all because the beach isn't real life.
Right.
They'll live in like the city of Miami, in like Brickell or Wynwood or Midtown, whatever it may be. But like, a telltale sign of someone that's like new to Miami is like if they live on Miami Beach, you're like, all right, you just got here probably, Yeah.
But a lot of people, and it's funny, I know people probably know that. See, there's a difference between Las Vegas and Vegas, right? Most people believe that Las Vegas is just Vegas. They think that Las Vegas is Las Vegas Boulevard. They think it's nothing but the Strip.
Yep.
No, man. Las Vegas is vast. Like, when you fly up, like, you can, I mean, dude, it is, there are a lot, and there's one small area where you see the Ferris wheel, the Trump Tower in the area, and, in the Vegas Strip, the world famous Las Vegas Strip. But most of Las Vegas is just a regular neighborhood. There are your good neighborhoods that there's Summerlin. There's now I'm really having a brain fart. There's North Las Vegas, there's Henderson. Then you've got your bad neighborhoods, right? You've got churches, schools, you have kids. It's a normal town just like any other town. It just happens to be the world's largest tourist attraction, at least last I checked. But yeah, man, like, and I lived that fast Vegas lifestyle, but I lived it right. It was just weird. When I first got to Vegas, I lived the normal Vegas lifestyle, and then I found the RP, and then it was, dude, I was on the Strip every day. I don't know how I did it for so long, but I'm glad I'm out of it, man.
And I'll say this too about Vegas that I didn't know until I talked with you, actually, Donovan, was that like, if you don't live in like the Strip area, Vegas is actually a very cheap place to live. It's a cheap
yes,
US
it is.
And I had a couple girls I dealt with that were like lived in Vegas, and they were telling me, oh yeah, like I have a house and I only pay like $1,000 a month. And I was like, what? And they're like, yeah, as long as you live on the Strip, it's actually very affordable to live there. And Nevada, if I'm not mistaken, no state income taxes, which is like awesome.
That's right. That's exactly right. Yes.
And that explains why so many people, I don't know if the population has bumped up in Vegas recently, but from what I've been told, there's a mass exodus of like content creators and people in general leaving Los Angeles to go to Nevada.
Yes. That's right. Dude, that's 100% right, man.
Because of California, the taxes are too high. You know what I mean? It's pretty ridiculous. So same with New York.
Listen,
as well.
this is the reason why I was able to buy properties, 1 year, 2 year, 3 years, 5 years in a row, because it is very inexpensive. Not only to live in Las Vegas, it's very inexpensive to live in the state of Nevada. There's no state income tax. There's no food tax. You go buy something at the grocery store and it says $1.99. When you get to the register, it's $1.99.
No food tax either? Oh, wow.
There's no food tax. Oh, no food tax. Dude, cigarettes are super cheap. Dude, gas is like $1.49. It is really, really, oh yeah, like it's inexpensive to live here. And I'm not trying to get into economics because I don't have an economics degree. This is more Aaron Clary, but he always recommends, shout out to that guy, but he always recommends that you live in low to no state income tax states, because those states tend to be the least restrictive. We live in Pennsylvania, okay? Dude, Pennsylvania is one of the Pennsylvania, New York, New Jersey, super high taxes. Guess what? You can't just walk into a store and buy a firearm. Dude, Devin bought a firearm recently. She had to get the firearm sent to a dealer. Then she had to buy the clips and the bullets separately because they wouldn't ship them together. It's just, and again, I don't want to make this Democrats versus Republicans, but this is what you get when you get big government. When you get too much oversight, too many people have jobs that were just made up to grease their palm, and you get people making up ridiculous laws. Well, guess what? The state of Nevada is not like that. That's why it's so inexpensive to live there.
Yeah, man. Like I've always said it too. Like when I was like looking for somewhere to live, I was picking either Texas, or Florida. Those, because I know there's no state income tax there, and it's fairly cheap to live in Texas and Florida. Even in Miami,
absolutely,
it's very expensive. Guys, Miami for a major city is very cheap. You know what I mean? Compared to, you can live in downtown Miami, Brickell, the neighborhood that me and Fresh we're all in here. This is like the Manhattan of Miami. You get an apartment here, 1 bedroom, for less than $2,000 a month. If you tried to do something like that in New York City, you would never get it. Boston, you know what I mean? Washington, D.C., you would never be able to get an apartment for that price. So living in the South in general is typically going to be better. And then Florida, if you're going to live in the Northeast, I would say New Hampshire. New Hampshire has no state income tax as well. So I think that's the only state in New England that doesn't have income tax. But yeah, man, I agree. Like income tax is like robbery. You don't want to live somewhere where they're like taking your money out, because the federal government already takes their piece anyway. So it's like income tax on top of that. Then if you live in like somewhere like New York City, they take a city tax too.
Dude.
So the state of New York takes money, the city of New York takes money, and then the federal government takes money. So it's like, you make $100,000 in New York City, it's nothing. It's literally nothing.
Dude, $100,000 in New York City is like $45,000. That's what that is. $100,000 in the state of Nevada is like $165,000. Your dollar just goes further, man. It really does. Okay, so it's a little dry and the elevation is a little high. But guess what? You get 4 inches of rain per year, which means what, boys and girls? Sunshine all the time. And if you live in like Reno, where we plan to live, it actually gets cold during the winter. So we're going to get 4 seasons. Dude, no state income taxes. Now, Devon's going to have to slather on the cocoa butter and the lotion all the time, because if she doesn't, by the time she's my age, she'll look like her jacket. That's of course, for another day and time. And there are procedures that can avoid such maladies, but that's neither here nor there. All right, Myron, we have our very first caller on the line. Let us go to Chris in Wichita. Chris in Wichita, you are on live with Donovan and Myron. Go ahead. We're doing good, man.
Yo, Donovan, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Hang on, Chris. Hang on.
Yeah, I can't hear Chris.
Hang on, Chris. Hang on a second. I think I'm doing something wrong here. Test. All right, hang on, Chris. Hang on, Chris. Chris, say something quickly. Oh, so audience can hear the caller. So this is something that I need to do. Okay, this is something I need to do on my end. Give me 2 seconds, guys. I think I know what the problem is. The problem. Hang on. I got you.
What up, guys? Bear with us.
Yeah, bear with me. It's my AirPods. That's what it is. So yep. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to hook up the. Hang on, guys. There's my. Where are those headphones? There they are. All right,
guys,
there we go.
We will get all you guys answered. We'll go on for about 45 to an hour here, so we'll get as many questions about fitness, game, dating, social media. We'll answer it tonight.
Hang on, guys. All right, Myron, you can still hear me, correct?
I got you.
Okay, so see, I can't hear Myron, so I got to change my settings. Hold on. Okay, audio. No, not Donovan's AirPods Pro. We need to go to the Rodecaster.
All right, Myron, can you hear me?
Got you, man. You're coming in nice and clean now.
Myron, this doesn't make any sense.
I got you.
Hang on, guys.
Guys, while Donovan is doing that, call into the show, guys. The number is 914-205-5356. We'll answer your questions on dating, game, fitness, whatever it may be.
Okay, cool. We're back. You can hear me, right?
Got you clear.
Okay, yeah. I try to be fancy with the AirPods, but that doesn't really help when we're taking phone calls. So, yeah, my bad. So, Chris in Wichita, please start all over again. What is your situation?
Okay. I've had girls in the past tell me they like me. And I always try to play it off. I've listened to other content creators, and they're like, "Oh, you should never let a girl know you like her. You should never say, you should never do that." But my question to you is, and Myron, is there any way to let a girl know you like her without sounding like a bitch or sounding needy?
You want me to take that one first, Donovan?
Yeah, go ahead. Sure. Yeah. I mean, I've got my answers, but yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, so I would say it depends, man. Like, have you hooked up with this girl already?
Hello?
Have you closed the deal? Okay, maybe you can't hear me, Donovan. I'll let you take it.
This doesn't make any sense. Everybody should be able to hear everybody. Chris, can you not hear Myron?
Oh yeah, several times.
Oh, this is a big time delay. Oh, there can't be this much of a delay, dude. Okay, I'm going to put Chris on hold.
I can't hear anybody.
Okay, this is weird. Hang on a second. Chris, I'm going to put you on hold for a second. I think there's something going on with Chris's stuff because this is we should be able to hear everybody loudly and clearly and in real time. He was hearing us like it was like a serious delay on his end. I don't know what's going on with that. Let's go to the next caller. Oh, crap. Dev, no. Like, we've gotten this. Okay, this has turned into a shit show. Devin, I really need you to start. Okay, let's go to Alan from Winnipeg. Alan, you're on live with Donovan. Go ahead.
Hello?
Yes, go ahead.
Hey, Alan,
Yes.
we got you on the line. Go ahead.
Hi, Donovan and Myron. This is Alan McLaren from Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. Donovan, I talked to you the other day. I won't be able to sort of hear you. I have my I guess the video sort of on delay. So when you speak to me, you won't be able to respond to me. So I'm going to just give you my question, and then I'll just listen to the video. So I'm a 49-year-old black male. I'm 5'9". How much should I weigh? I'm just trying to get into better shape. I do my workouts. I doing kind of aerobics and more dumbbells because my gym is closed. I used to run a bit, but now I'm just maybe trying to walk as I'm getting older. But I mean, I'll probably get back into running. Basically, at 5'9", what should I weigh? Right now, I'm 194-ish. I was 182 maybe 2 months ago, but I guess I got off track. And I'm doing intermittent fasting. So I'm going to just give you that, and then you can just work with what I said. Thank you very much. You guys are aces.
All right.
You both.
Thanks, Alan. Yeah, thanks, Alan. I appreciate that. Now, this is sort of, I think this is in the neighborhood of the body mass index thing, right? So he's 5'9". How much should he weigh?
Yeah. So, and by the way, for the callers out there, I think we might have to do it like this, Donovan, where they ask the question and just get off and just hear the replay. Since there might be a little bit of a delay. But this is a great question. So, guys, so caller, you're asking the wrong question. Instead of saying how much should I weigh at a certain weight, what you really need to focus on is how much muscle mass do I need to build and what body fat percentage am I going to be aesthetic at? The number scale doesn't necessarily really matter because let's say you're 200 pounds, right, and you're 10% body fat. That's a big difference between being 200 pounds and 20% body fat. So what you really need to focus on is increasing your lean body mass to fat mass ratio. The greater that disparity, the better you're going to look, right? When it comes to having a higher ratio of lean body mass to fat mass. So you're asking the wrong question, man. What you should be focusing on is how do I decrease my body fat while simultaneously adding lean body mass and or preserving that lean body mass. And the way to do that, to answer this question nice and succinctly, is you need to make weight training the cornerstone of your training, right? Or resistance training, lifting weights, calisthenics, whatever it may be. And then you need to put yourself either, depending on if you want to build muscle and burn fat at the same time, calorie maintenance or a slight deficit or surplus, either or, and monitor your body and see how it goes from there. Because the thing is that everyone reacts differently to certain calorie allotments because everyone has a different maintenance calorie and maintenance calorie number, which maintenance calorie is basically what you eat to consume to maintain your current body weight. So you got to figure out what your maintenance calories is and then use that as your center point to either put yourself in a slight deficit or slight surplus. But unless I know your body fat percentage, your training experience, etc., I won't be able to dispense the best advice. So to answer your question, long story short, you're asking the wrong question. You shouldn't be asking how much do I weigh at a certain height. You should be asking how do I maximize my lean body mass to fat mass ratio, and then I'm going to need to know certain parameters on where you stand, body fat wise, whatever. Hit me up on the side, bro. You can go on unplugfit.com or DM me on Instagram at unplugfit, and we could do a consultation. I'll be able to give you a much better assessment of what you need to do because I need to see you. I need to see your body fat percentage. I need to know your training experience. Then I'll be able to dispense the best advice because it's not black and white. It's different depending on the trainee.
There is the Myron Gaines we all know and love. That's the old school dude. I haven't heard you talk about health and fitness in forever. I was like, yeah, that's right. This guy also knows about fitness and nutrition. Yeah, what this guy's looking for is when people say, and correct me if I'm wrong here, Myron, but when guys say, every guy wants to burn fat, build muscle, and that's 100% true. The most succinct way to say it is, listen, optimizing body composition. That's what it comes down to. Am I wrong?
Yeah, no, absolutely. And the thing is that we need to know where you're at to give you the best advice to move forward. Because let's say he's, 195 pounds, but he's like 12% body fat. Well, he's pretty lean. You know what I mean? Now we just need to get him on a systematic calorie deficit to get him down so that he can be shredded. But let's say his body fat percentage is super high and he's not been training he's never really lifted weights correctly. Well, then we need to focus on screw the scale. We need to focus on getting this guy some lean body mass. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And measuring at that, because he might, if you take a beginner and you put him in the gym, what's going to happen a lot of the times is they'll build muscle and burn fat at the same time because the resistance training is such a new stimuli to them that their body pretty much overreacts to it in a positive way because it's such a strong stimuli. So they might not necessarily lose weight on the scale. However, their body composition is going to change. Their waist is going to start to shrink. They're going to start adding more lean body mass on while dropping fat mass simultaneously. So this is why I always tell guys, the scale isn't the end all be all. You need to look at the mirror. You need to use calipers. You need to measure your weight, take your measurements. You need to, look at measure your body fat, take waist measurements, and also look in the mirror and use the scale. When you use all those tools together, then you're going to be able to make a more educated decision on how you need to go in your fitness journey because the scale isn't the end all be all.
I can tell you how not to optimize your body composition, and that is not to fly people out and have dinner and drinks afterwards. I'll tell you that. Let's go back to Alan. Alan, do you have us this time? Alan, are you there? Alan. I think Alan is, for whatever reason, I think he's turning down his phone. I think his phone volume is low, but he's like the vault, like he can hear us on the phone, on the broadcast, but I think I don't think he's listening to us through his phone. So I'm going to put Alan back on hold there. Yeah, I'm going to have to put him back on hold there. Let's go to Virgil in Michigan. Virgil, you're on with Weights and Dates. What's up?
Hello?
Yes, sir. What's up?
I can't quite hear you on the other side, but
wait, hold on. You can't quite hear us on the other side?
Okay, I'm just going to ask my question. My name is Virgil. So
wait. Hold on. Wait. Okay, so Virgil, let me stop you right there. I put you on the line and you said hello just in time, right? That's what it sounds. Listen, something's going on here. I'm going to take a chance here. Area code 978. You're on live with Weights and Dates. What's on your mind? Area code 978. Are you there? Something's
Yeah,
going
Blog Talk Radio gave me this headache a couple days ago with Rich and Rolo as well. It might be delayed on their side. So guys, when you call in, just call in, ask your question, and then hang up and listen to the replay, and we'll answer your question for you. What do you think? That's probably the best way to go.
Well, that would be the best way to go. The problem is they don't know when. Like as soon as I say, "Hey, you're on live with Donovan," then it's like, okay, I mean, we got to wait for 30 some odd seconds. Man, that's bullshit. Like what? Oh yeah. We can't. This is why we can't have nice things, guys. Because
I'll tell you this. How about this? Callers, when you're gonna hear, she's gonna tell you you are unmuted. When she says that, ask your question that you're on the air. When the Blog Talk Radio lady says that, then you'll know.
That's exactly right. This is another reason why I need to take advantage of Ecamm Live. Ecamm Live eliminates all of this.
Yep. No, big. We do have a super chat question though. I see here from the optimistic pessimist.
Yes, from the I actually remember this guy. Yes. What do you do? He asks when you have a connection with a girl you met, but she tries to friend zone you.
That's my question.
The optimistic pessimist. Number one, you have a connection with the girl, but she does not have the connection with you. A girl will not try to friend zone you if she has a connection with you. What are your thoughts, Myron?
Yeah, no, this is an excellent question. And before I answer it, so callers, just a quick little recap. When you call in, stay on the line. You're going to hear unmuted. Blog Talk Radio lady is going to tell you unmuted. Ask your question and then hang up, and then we're going to answer it for you on the air. But to answer this super chat here, which is a great question, I did a whole video on this. So you got to understand, when a girl puts you in a friend zone, she doesn't see you as a sexual commodity, guys. So what you have to do is you basically have to transform into something you're completely not to change. Now, I'm going to tell you guys how to do this, but I'm going to warn you that it's not worth it to get out of the friend zone 9 out of 10 times. You're better off just meeting other new prospects and sourcing girls once you figure this stuff out. But if you really, I know some of you guys like want to be able to prove a point or get a girl that friend zone you. So this is how you do it. Number one, you're going to stop talking to her completely, like dead turkey. If you used to go out and hang out with her for platonic dates, or you used to go and talk to her on the phone, or you guys used to text message each other or share stupid memes, done, finito. You no longer talk to her, okay? Then you're going to go cold turkey on her. Then what you're also going to do is, if you can, move. Leave somewhere where she no longer has immediate access to you, right? Yep. Now you're going to put yourself on self-improvement mode on steroids. And I don't mean literally taking steroids, but what I mean is like you're going to start focusing on yourself, making more money, dressing better, getting in better shape. You're going to basically change everything about you that is lower value, okay? Now here's the thing you guys got to understand. This self-improvement, it's not good enough to just self-improve. You got to basically do an about face of the type of man that you used to be. If you were a nice, friendly guy, now you got to start being cold-hearted and a little bit more assertive and selfish with your time and how you do things. Then what you're going to do is, more than likely, if this girl was a friend of yours, you guys have mutual friends. You're going to let the mutual friends see your come up, where you're making more money, where you're being more successful, etc. And if you have this girl on Instagram, let her follow you, okay? So she sees your stories where you're demonstrating higher value and you're changing. Then if there's like a social situation, let's say it's a get-together or a mutual friends party, whatever, go ahead and show up at that party if she's going to be there. When you go, you need to basically be the best guy there, okay? Because you guys got to remember, when you're friend zoned by a girl, you're not starting at what I call homeostasis, where you can build attraction. You're actually starting at a deficit. So now you need to overcompensate by being it's so much better than you used to be. So let her see that. And then when she comes up to you and tries to start a conversation, you be cold and basically like cut her immediately. Like don't like, but let her see you interact with other girls and let her see the other girls being sexually interested in you. Because as we all know, women are hive-minded creatures and they need a cosign every single time. Most girls need a cosign to take you seriously sexually. You know what I mean? They just need that's just how they are. So when she sees other girls attracted to you, right, and you're being, short and cold with her, she's going to know on certain terms, wow, this guy probably has other options. Oh my God. Like I can't use this guy for free attention anymore. And that's going to make her start to, number one, respect you. And then what happens when a girl starts to respect you? Attraction starts to build, right? The problem is that she doesn't respect you. That's why she was friend zoning you and all this other stuff and taking your non-sexual attention and not reciprocating sexually. So basically DHB on Instagram, let mutual friends see the come up. And then if there's social situations where she might be, make sure you go and you're the best guy there and let her see you talking to other women and you're short and cold with her. Then she's probably going to make a pass at you where she's going to, reply to one of your stories, or she might randomly hit you up on a sexual type vibe. And when she does do that, you basically say, hey, gotcha. And then boom, you set up a date with her. Now, do you need to do all this? No. And quite frankly, I'm going to tell you guys, it's not worth it. But
no.
Yeah, a lot of guys want to get out the friend zone, but that's how you guys do it. Now, does this mean this is 100% success rate? No, man. The chances are slim. But since I know you guys are going to want to do this anyway, let me at least advise you the best way to do it so that you can win. But long story short, you got to become a completely different man from the man she friend zoned in the first place. And that's going to take deliberate actions, self-improvement, and more importantly, not giving your attention away for free to this chick and being cold and blunt and short with her when you deal with her until she makes an over move to you to try to sexualize. Then that's when you got her, and then she's coming back to you on your terms.
Yeah, not only that, Myron, I advise guys to do exactly what Myron said to do. And the reason why I say that is because if you go through all that, at some point, you're going to start to have options other than this girl who tried to friend zone you anyway, right? So, I mean, listen, what Myron just said is, listen, just improve yourself. Just and don't, I mean, dude, move. This is what I tell guys. When you find the RP, get off the grid. Go into a 6-month monk mode. Stay off the internet. Don't watch television. Don't watch movies. Consume red pill content. Lift weights. That's all you need to do. Lift weights, consume red pill content, and stack money. After 6 solid months of doing those 3 things, you will be higher value by virtue of the time that has gone by. You will be more sexually attractive to other women in 6 months than you were 6 months ago, simply because of what you've been doing. And at that point, you might not even want the girl who friend zoned you in the first place, right? Yeah. Because what a lot of guys don't realize is that they say, well, there's this girl who is trying to friend zone me. And oh my God, she's attractive. She's like a 9, blah, 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 blah. Then you start to improve yourself and better looking girls start to pay attention to you. At some point you realize, you know what? That girl wasn't really a 9. She's probably closer to a 6 because I've got real 9s hitting on me now. So self-improvement is always the answer.
The thing is with guys is like they'll invest in a girl in a friend zone manner, and they'll think that she has higher perceived status than she really does because she's been friend zoning them for so long, and they have familiarity. Like for guys, when you get familiarity with a girl, she becomes more attractive. For girls, when she gets more familiarity with you, she loses attraction. You know what I mean? She loses attraction. So you guys got to understand that, like, because guys always make this mistake thinking, let me invest more time, let me invest more effort into the girl, and she's going to like me. No. That's actually when you start taking more L's when you invest. You know what I mean? So, yeah, man, you guys got to cut your losses quickly when a girl's, like, trying to friend zone you. You know what I'm saying?
And here's the thing. They say familiarity breeds contempt. I don't know if that's true or not, but I do know that familiarity kind of tarnishes the shine. That's not – I think this is on both genders. The more you get to know a girl, the more you get, and I think it's like a peak thing, right? You start to like a girl, she likes you, you guys learn a little bit more about each other. You guys like each other more and more and more. Then you get together and there's that 2-week honeymoon period. And, things start not to fall off, but you're a little more familiar with one another. So the luster and the mystery and the intrigue, it goes down, it lessens. The same thing is with Devin. Before I moved in with Devin, there was all of this mystery and intrigue. In her phone, my real first name was preceded with the word King. She literally called me King Donovan, right? I moved in with her. King Donovan's not necessarily there anymore. Does that mean that I've lost frame or that she's losing attraction? No. We've been living together now for 3.5 years. Almost, it'll be 4 years in July. That's a long time. It's very, very hard to maintain that whole stuff because she knew who I was. Like, she knew that I was Donovan Sharpe. So she was all starstruck and starry-eyed, but now she still adores me. At least I think she does. I hope she does. But that initial spark, that mystery, who is this crazy blogger, this crazy YouTube guy, or this crazy blogger with all these articles that, everybody adore? Who is this guy? Now that she sort of sees the man behind the curtain, I'm not as impressive as I otherwise would be. Maybe I'm a little bit more impressive now because I've certainly, my star and my brand has grown since she started to know me. But that's just the natural progression in the human condition. The more you know about something, the less awe-inspiring it is. That doesn't mean it's bad. That doesn't mean it's worse. It just is. It's just the same thing with the supposed friend zone. The more a girl knows, and this, Myron, we were talking about this when I was at your studio. The guy was like, listen, should I let the girl spend the night after the first time I spent? Yeah. We were like, listen, if you've got Myron's apartment or my Vegas, my Vegas high rise at the Soho on South Las Vegas Boulevard, yeah, because there's nothing that she's going to find out about you by spending the night, that's going to make her unattractive to you. But if you live at your mama's house, you don't want her to spend the night.
It's a problem.
Right. So in that regard, familiarity certainly doesn't necessarily breed contempt, but it kind of takes the luster off a little bit.
Yeah, no, absolutely, man. And for the viewers that are watching, a guy called in and asked about like, oh, well, should I let a girl sleep over? And if I get a hotel room or whatever next to the downtown spot, and we're like, no, you shouldn't, because she's going to start to ask questions. Well, why are you staying at this hotel if you live just over? And then that's when, the can of worms starts to open up, because she's going to want to start to figure things out. And then, you could lie, but she's going to find out, oh, this dude probably lives with his parents, and then boom, attraction is gone. So
here's the thing where a lot of guys go wrong is they try Airbnb game, but they want to keep smashing the chick. No, if you want an Airbnb game, you have to understand that's going to be a one-time thing, homie. Like, let her think what she wants to think, but you can't keep smashing this broad. Eventually, she is going to find out what's going on.
She will, and you're going to start doing crazier and crazier things to keep her from finding the truth. You're going to have to keep getting Airbnbs or whatever. It ain't worth it.
Booty ain't worth it. No, sir. Let's go to Timothy from Rhode Island. Timothy, you're on live with Weights and Dates. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead and ask your question.
Hello, guys. How are you doing today?
Good.
All right. See, I have autism, not sickly autism, but I pay my bills. I work hard. I do my thing. Anyway, when I'm dating women and I tell them I have autism, they run away. They turn tail and run. I'm like, okay. Like, there was this one woman I saw. She has schizophrenia, and I told her, oh, that's cool. I have autism. She's like, oh, I'm out of here.
I can't take that seriously. I cannot take that seriously. Listen, Tim, I'm sure you probably maybe you have autism, maybe you don't. But if you're dating a girl, like, I don't know, man, that just sounded trolly to me, man. I didn't want to be cruel. I didn't want to take any chances.
I'll say this. You guys got to understand, never admit or tell a girl about any type of mental deficiency.
Bingo.
Because, whether the caller's right or, was trolling or not, for anybody that is watching, don't admit that stuff, guys. And the reason why is because you guys got to understand that women, there's a negative connotation. You guys want to hear a huge RP right now? Here's the reality. There's a huge negative connotation if a guy admits that he has some kind of mental problem, but there is no negative connotation if a woman admits she has some kind of mental problem. Girls all the time are open about, oh, I have anxiety, or I have depression, or I have this, whatever. I'm bipolar, whatever. Like, girls are encouraged to come out with their, with their mental instabilities, and they're encouraged to do it. It's out there, whatever. We're going to coddle you and, support you, whatever. If a man admits that he has some kind of schizophrenia or whatever, even though society might not necessarily say something, you're still going to be ostracized because they're going to assume you're dangerous off rip. You understand? Like, a mentally unstable man is considered dangerous and scary, whereas like a mentally unstable woman is considered like strong and triumphant and, overcoming obstacles. So I'm going to tell you guys, from a dating perspective, if you do have some kind of mental deficiency, do not admit it. And as a matter of fact, what I also tell guys is, if you have like some kind of medication you take, even if it's like Ritalin, whatever, hide that. Don't let her see it in your medicine cabinet, okay? Because you don't want to put yourself in a position where she could think, oh, this guy has some mental instability, and then what's that going to happen? It's going to trigger the safety issue. It's going to trigger safety objections in her head. And girls, I always say, if the flags in her head are red, you ain't getting head, bro. So always mitigate any type of thing, any type of situation that can make you look mentally unstable or unfit for some kind of sexual relationship with a woman, man. When a girl admits she has mental deficiencies, she's considered triumphant and cool. When a guy admits it, it's like, oh, he's probably creepy and weirdo, might kill me. So don't admit it.
Listen, I understand that. Now, let me come at it from this perspective. I agree with you 100%. But the reason why guys don't tuck tail and run when a girl says she's got bipolar is because we want to have sex with her, right? What if she meets a 6'4" alpha Chad, square job, rip, blah, 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 blah. By the way, Stacy, listen, I'm a little bit autistic, or I have, I'm bipolar. Do you think she's going to tuck tail and run? Oh my God, no. She's going to be, oh my God, how brave of you to come out and be so brave about your mental illness. You know what, as a matter of fact, I've got one of those little puzzle pins that I wear every day in support of autism. sexual attraction mitigates everything. But if you don't look like the typical 6'4" alpha Chad, do not lead with a medical condition. Okay, don't do it. Don't tell girls, hey, by the way, I'm autistic. Because a lot of guys, Myron, like to say, well, listen, I'm just upfront and straightforward with these girls because I don't want to lead them astray. No, what you're doing is you're giving them a reason to reject you, which gives you a reason not to really push, right? Well, I keep it real. And if they can't handle me keeping it real, then they got no, The reason why you're telling girls these things is because it's an insecurity and you want them to make you feel better about said insecurity. Don't do it. If you're autistic, do not tell her. If you have a mental disorder, do not tell her, dude. And you have to make her discover it. But discovery always trumps disclosure. If a girl starts banging you and she somehow finds out you're autistic, that's when it will be an endearing personality, right? That's when she'll start to hamster, oh, he's autistic. But autism, I've heard autistic people can be very smart and this and that and the other. That's only if you started banging her. Dude, I've started banging girls and 2-3 weeks later, they find out the hard way that I have been diagnosed with intermittent explosive disorder, right? Like, they find this out. They ask me, like, is there something wrong with you? I'm like, well, yeah, I do have an anger problem. And doesn't everybody? No. Like, Dr. Derflinger is my count. Like, I've been diagnosed. There's paperwork. Intermittent explosive disorder. You know how many girls tucked tail and ran? 0, because I was already banging them. Oh, how brave of you to come out and admit the reason why you were shouting me down and making me cry is because you have a medically diagnosed anger problem. Never mind that you could freaking split me in two with the drop of a hat. You're just so brave. Dude, discovery trumps disclosure every single time. If you are banging her, if the only reason she's going to excuse any sort of mental deficiency or illness is if you're banging her and she finds out. But if you come to her, hey, listen, I've got something to tell you. Well, what is it? I have autism. No, she's not. No. Let her discover it. Don't you tell her.
And one last thing, man. As a man, you guys got to understand in society nowadays, you don't get the luxury of, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. Women get that, but men don't. Yep. You know what I'm saying? Like, girls date, guys. When girls date, they're looking for reasons to disqualify you. You understand? When men date, they're looking for reasons to qualify women because guys want to get sex. So you want to mitigate anything that's going to make you look as, how do I say this? As a partner unfit for her. You know what I'm saying? And if you say, even if it's like a minor case of like, oh, I have ADHD, don't admit that because she's automatically going to think, oh, he's probably trying to like downsize it. He's probably even more crazy. He might kill me in his sleep. Like all these chicks watch like crazy murder drama movies and stuff like that. So don't let her mind run crazy off of like a small admission, guys. Let her find out because chicks are always looking to disqualify you, man. And quite frankly, if a girl tells you, oh, I have a mental disorder, like she's going to be applauded and, put up on a pedestal like, oh my God, you're so brave. As a guy, you don't get that benefit until after you have sexual relations with her. So don't be stupid, guys.
Not only that, Tricky Trini here nails it on the head. So she's looking at you for procreation in her hindbrain. She'll reject you without even thinking. Exactly. It's
Facts.
not. See, this is the thing. And this is all in a woman's firmware. When you say, I have autism, what's the first thing now she herself isn't thinking, oh my God, I'm going to have an autistic kid. That's not what she's thinking. It's what she's thinking, but she doesn't know that she's thinking it because her hard drive, her firmware is telling her, this guy has a medical deficiency. If I procreate with him, then his genes are going to be passed on to my kid's genes. I'm going to be saddled with an autistic kid and reject you without thinking, just like Tricky Trini said. 100% correct, man. 100%
automatic demonstration of lower value. It's a huge deal. Yeah.
You better believe it. Kyle N says we have pressure to be perfect in every way. Yeah, maybe we'll see. Chris Von Erich says I once had a chick tell me she was bipolar and tried to kill her mother on the first date. Needless to say, that ended quickly. You see? And but see, here's the thing. The fact that she actually admitted it, dude, Byron, listen, man, I've heard girls admit the craziest shit on dates. The reason, and the thing is we're not the first guy that they admit this stuff to. The reason they tell us this, the reason they tell us this stuff is because they weren't rejected the first couple of times they were told it. Dude, listen, man. Dude, one girl told me, dude, this is some absolute messed up stuff. One girl told me she was banging 3 guys at the same time and got pregnant by one of them. Unprotected sex from all of them. You want to know what this girl did? This girl got each one of them to give her $1,000 for a Noit Roba. For a Noit Roba spelled backwards. Every one of them gave her $1,000, and then she went and had the Noit Roba. She got paid for 3 Noit Robas, right? But only had 1. And then she went and got pregnant again. She admitted this to me, single mom, admitted this to me on the first date. Dude, at that point, when I'm listening to the story, and I remember she's like, so I guess I'm scaring you off now, huh? I said, yeah, you actually kind of are. So let's go ahead and finish up here because we're done. I told her that straight up. She looked like I slapped her in the face. Wait, I'm sorry. You mean to tell me you actually told that story to a guy and he didn't tell the waiter, check, please? Dude, this is how fearless girls are. They can just admit the craziest stuff because guys are like, well, it's probably their fault anyway. Dude, not enough guys are saying, bitch, you are crazy. Waiter, get your ass over here. Give me this check so I get the fuck out of here away from this crazy person.
Yeah, no, man. When girls admit crazy stuff to you like that, that's just like a telltale sign that like 9 out of 10, like she just dealt with a lot of guys that just will do whatever, whatever, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's a crazy scheme right there because each of these Noit Robas, if you guys know what I'm talking about, it's abort, but like the other way around, if you guys know what we're saying. It costs a lot of money, right? In most states, it's somewhere between $500 to $1,000 per. So she told 3 guys, she made it quick, like 2 G's.
3 guys at the same time, all unprotected. They all gave her $1,000. She says, yeah, they all gave me $1,000. I went and got it done. And then I got pregnant again by one of the guys. And that's, I've got a cute little boy now. And I'm like, oh, she says, oh, I'm probably scaring you. I said, yeah, actually you kind of are. So let's go ahead and get out of here because this night's over. She's like, I'm like, wait, did you, honestly, you expected me to sit here and no, get the hell out of here with that, man.
These girls are wild.
All right, let us go to Red in LA. Let's see if Red in LA can get this in. Red in LA, what you got? Red in LA, ask your question about dating and then hang up and listen. Okay. This Blog Talk Radio is
callers on the line. Yeah, callers on the line. Remember, if it says unmuted, just ask your question right away and then hang up and we'll answer it.
Yeah, guys aren't going to do that because they're not paying attention. That's just and listen, we can't put that burden on those guys. I would just open up the video line, but it's already 7:00, and we are going to be doing the 7 tonight at 8. So the 7 or the 6, we're going to be live. It is going to be the 6 with special guest, Fresh Prince CEO. We're going to be talking about, and I know I had another show planned, but I forgot that I had told Fresh that I was going to have him on the show. And this is actually a better topic because it's more apropos. We are going to talk about the influence of social media on the dating market. The perceived, high or low sexual market value. SMB has a lot to do now with what people see on social media. So Myron, give us sort of an opening salvo to this to transition into the 6 later on.
Yeah, man. I mean, quite frankly, and you guys know I'm a huge cold approach advocate, but in this digital media age that we live in now, social media is almost a requirement if you want to get the most attractive girls, because all the most attractive girls are on social media. And quite frankly, they're going to size you up by looking at your social media. This is why if you match with a girl on Tinder, whatever it may be, one of the first questions she's going to ask you is, what's your Instagram? And she's not asking you that question to like just say, oh, I want to look your Instagram just because, and I want to get more followers. No,
it's not a conversation starter. She really wants to know what's your IG so I can check you out.
Yeah, she's gonna like size you up based on your Instagram. And if it's low value, guys, quite frankly, you're gonna disqualify yourself from a lot of girls. So unfortunately, men got to understand that the dating market has changed and women have put a lot of stake on social media because they do. You know what I'm saying? So, it's just that you got to adapt with the times. And quite frankly, if you don't have a social media profile, I'm not saying you can't get girls without it. You absolutely can get women without it. But if you want to maximize your ability to attract and retain the most attractive girls, especially if you live in a Western country, social media is going to be a component of your game if you want to max out your results.
And we are going to talk about that at length on the 6 tonight at 8 with special guest Fresh Prince CEO. Fresh Prince CEO is he is an Instagram wizard. I started doing these stories on Instagram, and I've increased my following by 1,000 followers since Fresh touched my phone. Says, and he talks. He's like, "Yo, you got to do this, do that." I'm like, "Yo, slow down and explain." Like everything he tells me is absolutely true. I have 1,000 more followers, dude. I was in Miami last week. Spent a week in Vegas. Got 1,000 more followers, man. So he absolutely, positively is the real deal. So tune in tonight at 8:00 Eastern, 5 Pacific. For the 6th with special guest Fresh Prince CEO Myron. If you would send me a thumbnail, hopefully with a transparent background, so I can transpose him on to the title page and let the people know that, hey, Fresh Prince CEO is going to be on tonight. Red Pill Mike with the super chat, $10 super chat, says,
"Thank you.
I've had women." Thank you very much. He says, "I've had women admit crazy personal information to me, and when hearing my rebuttal, quote, say, quote, every other guy has a problem. Every other guy has not a problem with this. My response is always with, then you should not have split up." Wow. Yeah, no other guy has a problem with this. Well, you guys should not have split up then, because this is, dude, Myron, you hit the nail on the head. Girls are so oblivious to absolutely how crazy they are so coddled that they can admit to trying to kill their mother. I got pregnant by 3 guys, had a Noit Roba, got paid, then went. And then they expect guys to be like, oh, well, that's no, sweetie, And then guys wonder, why did you turn my life upside down? Because she told you she tried to kill her mother. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, I mean, when you like hang out with a girl like that, right? You're basically inadvertently telling her, I don't have that many options. You know what I mean? And then she's gonna think it's so. Like, the thing is, she should be a scared to admit crazy things like that to you, because she doesn't want to like disqualify herself to you. You know. So like when a girl admits crazy stuff to that like that to you guys, it's one of 2 things. One, she probably is really crazy. And then 2, it's just a lack of like social calibration on her part. And then number 3, she probably doesn't respect you that much, because let me tell you guys this. I always use this litmus test. If she was hanging out with Drake or Future, would she admit these things that would probably disqualify her as a potential mate? She probably no. So if she's admitting it to you and she wouldn't admit it to Drake or Future, you guys got to hold yourself to that same standard. Yes, you're not a millionaire rapper that has a blue check mark and the world knows you, but you guys got to hold yourself to a similar standard to that.
Listen, that's the point. This is why we tell you guys to increase your value. The higher your value, the higher the quality girls. Dude, I'm gonna tell you what, dude. And this was early on in game, but when girls do, I had the Vegas high rise and some of the kind of car I drove, they didn't admit that crazy shit to me. No, I'm not Drake or Future and never will be. But after seeing my dude, one girl said, I have kind of a confession to make. I'm like, oh, well, here we go. What is it? She says, well, I kind of smoke a little bit. I'm like, smoke cigarettes? She's like, yeah. She's like, I've tried to kick the habit forever. Now, in my mind, I'm like, dude, seriously? Like, I've dated girls with bigger red flags than that. But you want to know what I did? I didn't say, well, that's not a big deal. I said, well, listen, you need to work on, like, fucking quitting. You know what I'm saying? Like, listen, I'm not trying to kiss an ashtray. I didn't really feel this way, but I had to let her know that it was as big a deal in my mind as it was in hers. And this is how much she liked me. Smoking cigarettes was a potential deal breaker. Increase your value, guys, and you get confessions like this all the time.
Yeah. Like, I mean, if she says, oh, I do that, if she admits some kind of unflattering behavior to you, even if you don't have a problem with it, guys, pretend you have a problem with it. Right. Because it's going to make her, I always say it, man, Future's, you guys know I quote Future all the time. In one of his songs, you know, B, don't get too comfortable. That's how girls feel when they're around you guys. A woman is on her best behavior when she's walking around on eggshells dealing with you. When she's walking around on eggshells, she's scared to lose you, and she knows if she does some unflattering behavior, you're going to kick her to the curb, and that's exactly where you want women, guys. Women need to respect you first before anything, and one of the strongest demonstrations that she respects you is she watches what she says around you very carefully. Obviously, she's not scared that you're going to smack her or anything like that. I'm not telling you guys to run around abusing these girls, but what I am saying is the fear of you leaving her needs to put the fear of God in her. You don't understand? That's how you guys, how high value you guys got to be.
Listen, I'm going to end it with this. You want, and I'm not endorsing domestic Duracell, right? I'm not endorsing that, but dude, we really got to be creative, right? Like, this is what it's come to. This is what it's come to, right? Domestic Duracell. Girl, real talk, and a woman would never admit this to you, but if your value is higher, if your value were high enough, your girl would rather you Duracell her than to lose you. Real talk. In an honest moment, if she really thought she was going to lose you and she had a choice between a Duracell C or you leaving, she's taking that Duracell 11 times out of 10. You want to know who else did it? Nicole Brown Simpson. She did it, and of course that didn't end too well with her because she ended up doing it with somebody that was higher value than OJ. That's neither here nor there, but that's the kind of value you want.
And sorry, go ahead, Donovan. I didn't mean to cut you. Go ahead.
Yeah, listen, you want your value to be so high that she is more afraid of losing you than anything, even when it comes to Duracells and Energizers. So go ahead, Myron.
No, all I was going to say is disclaimer, because I know some low IQ people out there are going to say, Myron and Donovan are advocate to abuse your girl. No. Sabusa or Ibusa.
Like, listen, there's nothing about Isuba or Duracells or Energizers that have anything to do with that. So I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, because I know some guys might try to misconstrue this or edit it, whatever. Guys, we are simply saying she needs to have a fear of God in you leaving her. That's how high value you want to be. She would rather take like a unch, if you guys know what I'm talking about, than have you leave. That's what we're trying to say. Like, don't actually do it. But what we're saying is that she needs to be more scared of losing you than getting like some kind of like unch, if you guys know what I'm talking about. So
big Latin unch pay.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying?
Or Duracell. Right, there we go.
Or fruit punch. She'd rather take a fruit punch from you than you lose you.
There it is. She wants, yeah, right. She has to be afraid of drinking Hawaiian punch than to leave you. Oh, I love it. Dude, it's so funny. We used to bitch and moan about the fact that YouTube used to flag all these buzzwords, but it's created a whole other like glossary of fun words that sort of get the message across. That's hilarious. 91 Devok. That's freaking hilarious. Guys, that's going to do it for this edition of Weights and Dates. Hopefully, I think we might be able to keep this one up on the air. Listen, man, I freaking Blog Talk Radio. When I get back home, I'm gonna have to, I bought Ecamm Live. I've got to get into it and figure out how to use it because Kevin's been on my ass about this for like a year and a half. And every time he asks me about it, I'm like, oh, look at the time, I gotta go. Because I keep having to tell him, oh no, haven't really messed with it yet. We will be back in 45 minutes on the 6th with special guest Fresh Prince CEO. We are going to talk about the power of social media and the influence it has on your dating market value. So do not miss that. Thank you all for tuning into Weights and Dates. We will see you
next week.
We'll see you next week at 6:00 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific. But we are going to take a break now. We will come back with